discussions. When you click on discussions, you will see main discussions. And this is letting you know how you are to do it. Could I do this as a different video? Sure, but I'm not. So here you go. Main discussions. What happens here? They are open for 2 solid weeks. They open Sunday morning at midnight, so Saturday/Sunday. So the moment Saturday turns into Sunday, that is when the discussion opens. I do my weeks where they end Friday at 10 p.m. So your initial post has to be done before Friday at 10 p.m. I highly recommend before that because you also need to be active 2 different days for both weeks. So if you wait until Friday to make your initial post, you've already lost points. So do it sooner than that. Now, you will notice all of the discussions, other than the first one, have right here at the bottom. They're going to tell you to make your initial post before here. That is the due date for your initial post. You want to do it before then if you want to get 2 days worth posted. I hope this is making sense. All right, here's where it's reminding you at least 2 days of activity per week in the discussion. I have had people in the past confused about what activity meant. So that means, say on Thursday, you post your initial post, your very first post. You will not be able to see what anybody else said until you make your post. And then Friday, you come back and you respond to somebody. And then Monday of the next week, you respond to somebody. And then Wednesday of the next week, you respond to somebody. That's 4 different days. So that's 2 days on week 1, 2, there we go, 2 days on week 2. That's how you do it. You have to reply to at least 3 people. So if you are doing the 4 days thing, you've already got this covered. Oh, this is a big one right here. Goodness. If people don't pay attention to anything else, this is what I want you to pay attention to is this part. No fluff. No, good job. Wow. I like how you ... Or, oh my gosh, to me, this means no. If it means that, it means that to everybody on the flippin' planet. It is not a personal definition. When you put something in your own words, you're literally just putting it in your own words. You're not claiming that you have the rights to an exclusive definition, which is, to me, this means. That's what that is. So please don't do these things. You have to actually talk. Now, you have to pick a side and state your personal thoughts and opinions. Yeah, that's literally in the rubric, which I'll go over in just a moment. I talked about this in the intro video, that you have to say, this is what I believe, think, feel, and this is why. You have to pick a side. You have to say what you stand with. And you have to be, I'm blanking on the word, clear. There you go. Crystal clear. And for the explaining why, a lot of times I get because I'm a good Christian person. That's fine. But what does that mean? So if you say something along the lines of, I believe that food is a human right because I'm a good Christian person. Okay, how does that go together? I would assume you saying that food is a human right, and I believe this because I'm a good Christian person, would mean because being a good Christian person, I am following what the Bible says, which is, oh gosh, it was a quote, Jesus, I've already blanked. I'm going to paraphrase about what you do to the least of me, you do unto me, which would mean if I am supposed to care, I care. You know what I mean? So a lot of people will use a political party, a family, a religion, a culture, whatever as a shield and not actually think it through. This course is going to force you to think it through. So you 100% are valid to say, because I'm a good Christian, but you have to tell me why that decision makes you a good Christian. And this is not just Christianity. This is for any religion. So if you are Jewish or Muslim or I'm blanking because it's early and I can't remember everything. I swear to God, I do have a degree in philosophy and religious studies, but those are the only three religions I can think of right now. Or if you are an atheist or an agnostic, I don't care. Your personal belief is your personal belief. I'm good with it. You want to use it in your writings? I'm good with it. But you cannot just say that and use that as a reason. You have to then explain it. Pretend nobody knows anything about this religion and explain to me how this matches with this. That's all I ask. Okay. Now, I know I digressed and I've already decided I am totally just going to reuse this discussion video for everybody because I'm not going to remember all this. My brain's like, it is Saturday morning and I just can't remember everything right now. I'm tired. Anyway, here we go. You must post in the discussion. This means you type your little words in the discussion board. You do not attach anything. If you want to include a photo, like a picture or something, go for it, but you insert it. You do not have anything that I have to download in order to view. If you do not put the words in the discussion board, I will not grade it. You will get a 0. Plain and simple. Want to make sure you know that. Now, good thing to do is write it in some kind of document. I'm going to say Word, but I hate Word because it keeps insisting I want my whole screen covered with one document. And I am in the process of trying to find anything else I can use that does the same stuff because I hate them that much. But some kind of document, you type up your post, your response, whatever, go ahead and proofread it, and then copy and paste it into the discussion and then hit submit. That's what I would suggest. The reason I suggest this is because of the number of times when I've taken courses that I spent a long time typing everything up and then I hit submit and then the system went down and everything I typed disappeared. So I highly recommend writing it somewhere else, copy paste. All right. Now, I have specified here that, right here, I have to remind you on this part right here. You have to show what you thought about it. Clearly state your opinion. Clearly state your opinion. Back it up with some kind of fact. You also have to supply valid sources and include the hyperlinks. This way I can view it. You cannot just go www.nasa.gov. Okay, that's a whole flipping website. Where's the article? New York Times. Okay, where's the article? So you have to supply the active hyperlink. So I can click it and I can double check your source. And then you have to specify which fact goes with which source. I have an example of this already posted in one of these classes. Let's see. I'm going to show you an example that I have. It's way down there. So like this right here. So this is a discussion in one of the classes for April. And this is what I'm talking about right here. I give you a fact. I give you a hyperlink. You click this, it's going to take you straight there. So look, bam, I can actually verify what it is. That's what I mean. If you can do that kind of thing, that is extremely helpful because then I can make sure that you have the proper fact. Sometimes somebody will use a source. Okay. A lot of times people use chat or something, or they Google it and they only look at the blurb and they don't actually read the article. They're misled because it's taken out of context. Somebody truly believes what they're stating as a fact. And then when I go check the article, I look at it in context and it means something completely different. At this point, I help correct the misinformation. This is helpful. Sometimes people just don't read it all and they use AI and it lies. And this will help me with that as well. The importance for me is that you actually know what a fact is, because I am trying really hard to get everybody to learn how to educate themselves. Okay, so that is pretty much the discussions. I will talk about the specific times that you do your discussions when I'm covering the syllabus. So I think that's it for discussions.